Yeah, good morning. Welcome back to Mark's Railway Trails. And this morning we're on the Centennial to Runcorn Gap, and we've just left it from Morrison's, where I did my walk the other week, the full walk into Shore Street. And this is the second bit, leading from Morrison's. As you can see, well overgrown. Bit of a fight to get through here, and that's why I've started videoing it for me, because there's not a lot to see where I've just come from, but this is where it's brought us out to now, at the bridge crossover. And if you just look down there, I'll get my camera on it. As you can see, this is where the railway led over onto the second part, really, leading it out of town towards Widnes. So you can just see some of the old brickwork there. And if I just flip the camera around up here in a minute, you'll see the bridge. But as you can see, I'm just showing you down here, a bit of a drop here actually, and I'm right on the edge. But that's the way we've come, and as you can see, it's well overgrown. Bit of a path to get through, which wasn't too bad, but this is well overgrown now. And you can see right in the distance, that's where I've just come down, and this is where it brings us out in Sutton. Can't get over this bridge now, and I won't even attempt to get over this bridge. But just look how badly decayed that bridge is. You can just see it. And if you notice, there's two bridges. There's one here, and there's one over there as well. And I'll tell you more about that as we get on the trail. But look how rotten that bridge is. It's well gone, and that's why it's all partitioned off now, so nobody can get over it. And I won't even attempt to walk over that, to be honest with you. It's well gone. So that's where we're heading, in that direction. And what we're looking for today down here, a bit of history really. And when you get these places, fly tipper's paradise, as I've always said. I'll just flick onto the newer part of the bridge. There you go. And there's the other bridge. There's two bridges going over on the Centennial Junction Gap, and I'll tell you more about that as we get further down. Well overgrown, well overgrown. Just get my camera in there to show you a shot. As you can see, well overgrown. And this is a newer bridge. Again, all fenced off now. I'm going to keep this running and till we get to where we want to get to, but lonely places these, and like I say, fly tipper's paradise. That's the way we've come, all fenced off. I'll show you more of the bridges as we get down on the lower level now, if we can get down. And you can just see how overgrown it is. Well overgrown. But if you look there, still part of the old track running that way. You can just see it there, see it? You can just see it. Not a lot to see up this part, but I just wanted to get it on the blog really to show you. Hopefully we can get down here. Oh, there we go. I'm not going this way, but I just wanted to show you. That's the way we've come. And if you just look down there now, all the old railway walls are still there, still intact. And that's like a walkway they've made that cuts through, that takes you towards Morrison's. But we're not going that way this morning. We're going this way, and what we've come to find this morning is There's a lot of history really, because it was the first railway bridge that ran over a railway, where a railway crossed a railway, and it was the first in the world, built by George Stephenson. So that's what we've come to find this morning, and this just gives you an idea of where we're heading this morning. There you go, that's where we've just come. We got off the line now, but you can actually see the bridge there now, and cars run under it, and as I go under it, some old railway mobilia there that's still left to rot. But that's a newer bridge, and as you can see, it's concrete. That's where we're going to be heading now. I've had to come off the line because we can't get back up on it, so we've come off the line. Well, I'll keep it running just to let you know where that heads. That heads towards Sutton Village, which is that way, but we're heading this way. But that's a new bridge, or the newest of the two bridges. I'll tell you more about the history as we go down. This is the original bridge, the oldest bridge of the two. And as you can see, just look at the daylight under that arc. It's all wood and it's all rotten. It's all rotten through. You just would not walk over that. Not in a million years. Well gone. That just gives you a better shot of it. The two bridges going over, because there's two lines on this, and I'll tell you more about that when we get on the trail. As you can see, gotta be careful going over there because it's a busy road. So. Like I say, I've had to cut off this morning to get across really, because there's no other way you can get round, and that's where we're just leaving now. We've come down there all the way from near Morrison's, and that's brought us to here, and this will get us back on the trail. And if you're wondering where this is, it's on Monastery Road, and we'll cut across here. New houses over here now on the right. This is the way you get back onto the line. Like I said, a lot of history here, and I wanted to get this on the blog because, like I say, it was the first railway that ran over a railway, and it ran over the famous 1830 line of George Stephenson on his Rainhill trails on the famous day. So a lot of history. But again, another nice part at back end of town really, Monastery Lane, and we're going to cut back up onto the line now, and I'll show you. There we go, we're back on. Now what you can see there was the embankments where the line ran, and we're going to go up there and show you how high it was up really. All been left to rot now. All the walls are down, as you can see. Everything's just been left to rot. But there you go, you can just see how high it goes up. There's a little bit of ballast there, which is great because it helps you gain up onto some of these higher levels. There we go. I'll check it to the end, and I'll show you where the line ran. and you can see quite a few people have walked this one compared to the other one. Now we're going to come to a dead end here at the end, but I just wanted to show you. It gets you a better picture than of the long walk really, and where the two lines ran. And here we go, this is where we were on the other side. Just gives you another shot of it really. That just takes you down to the road. Just get my camera in. And you'll see there's like a higher line and a lower line. And there you go. But how rotten's that bridge? It's well gone. Well gone. But this is a higher line, and if you go down here, this was the lower line, and you can see that's a newer bridge made of concrete. So this was a newer bridge that ran all the way past Morrison's to Shaw Street, but we'll take the higher line, and this is where we're going to start it really, because I think you see more on the higher line really. I should have put my long pants on this morning because nettles everywhere, so that wasn't clever. Well, this is where kind of the trail starts really, from coming over from Morrison's, what I did the other week, and I didn't video a lot of the other part because you're just fighting bramble, but you can see people use this as a walkway a lot. And this is a high line that we're on. Like I say, there's two lines, one going that way. If you go down there you can just see the ballast. Ballast is still there, and that added in that direction as well. Like I say, we've come to find the first railway that ran over a railway, probably in the world, according to my records. And it's a bit of a walk down here, but again, you're reading old maps, a lot's changed, but you can still see the two lines on my old map showing you the lines. And when you get up to this top corner, hopefully we should see where the line went to, and how it bridges round towards Centennial Junction, because this way, according to my maps, went to Widnes, to Ditton Junction, and then on to the docks. Here we go. And this way, we can get down here now. This is a great shot. This way led to St Helens Junction. There you go, that just gives you an idea how they got the line running up. Like I said, that was the lower line, and you can just see the ballast down here. See how it runs. Like I said, well overgrown, there's no track, everything's gone, long gone, and that heads towards St Helens Junction. But we'll get the higher line because you can see more. But what a great find that is, that, you know, the bridges that got the height are still here, all been just left to rot, decaying. And nature's just taking it back, You can just see some of the old brickwork there running along, but no lines. You can't find any lines. That's where we've just come. I'll tell you a little bit more about the Centennial to Runcorn gap as we get a little bit further in. But that just gives you an idea how the line ran really, and that's why there's two bridges. Well, it's nice to see this little walkway through, because I wasn't expecting this, to be honest with you. It's nice that you don't have to be fighting like there was on the other part before the bridge. Fence is coming up here now, hopefully we can get through. Not blocked it off too much. If memory serves me right, there should be a bridge coming up here as well on my map, if it's correct. Maybe it's a bit further down, but you can see they fenced a lot of it off now, health and safety. But that takes you over towards the junction, but we're going to go this way. Trying to get a shot of how the bridge, must be a bridge coming up. Maybe it's further down. Maybe it's further down. Like I say, it looks different on a map to when you walk in it, to be honest with you. Looks totally different. But you can just see how it's dropping now. That was a lower line. Ah, here we go. Here we go. This is it. You can still see the ballast down, can you hear it? That's the way we've come. There's still got the ballast down, but no sign of any tracks or anything else. It's long gone. Yeah, this is it. This should be it. Here we go. I'm going to come off here because according to my map, here we go. Some of the old sleepers still there, but that takes you to the junction in St Helens. Hopefully we can get down here because we're on the higher line, and we'll have a gander before we carry on. We'll come off and we're going to keep it running. Oh great, yeah, we can come down here. Here we go, that gives you a better idea. So you see the bridge there, that's the one that ran to Shaw Street, and the other bridge on the left hand side further down ran to the junction. There we go. This just gives you a better shot of it really, better idea. There you go. That's where we've just come down. We can go back up there as well, which is good. But the line to the junction would have come down here, and all this has been cleared. According to my maps down here, there should be some old sheds, and yeah, just on the left. There we go. Look a bit modern, but have they been, you know, redone, rebricked? But this is where the line would have led towards the junction. Ah, here we go. There we go. Here we go. These are the old railway sheds. Yeah, and you can tell the railway sheds. One, they've always got a door and a big gap. Can you see them? And I'll have a quick look in there as well. Lonely places. I'll have a look in one. There you go. You can always tell that's a railway shed because of all the vents in the roof. Yeah. And the two doors at the back. You see the two doors at the back where all the vents was to let the steam out. Still here. Obviously been used for something else after the railway's closed. But still here. Lonely places, you know. Again, see the door at the back. It's all been tarmacked over. All been tarmacked over. There you go. You see the one door at the back and all the vents, that gives you a better shot. I'll give you a bit of the history, and these would have been local sheds originally as part of Sutton Oak Station where Morrison's is now. It had been like a siding for some of the railways. So that's a nice find. I didn't think I was going to find that. Like I say, I had it on my maps, but when you're following old maps, a lot of the things are long gone. So that's a classic find. I'm glad to find that. And that would have serviced Sutton Oak sheds and the trains coming from the junction into town centre. If you go that way, and there's not a lot to see, that will take you to the Centennial Junction, and that's where that line, and there was two lines on this track. You had a higher line and a lower line. But what a classic find. Obviously it's been redone and used for something else, and now just left to rot. But when we get up on the line, I'll tell you more about the Centennial to Runcorn Gap. Like I said, this is a higher line that went to Widnes, and this leads hopefully to the railway bridge, the railway that ran over a railway. But if you just look there now, just further down, this is where the line would have come down and headed in that direction towards the Centennial Junction, and the higher line would have led into town, and that way that we're going up now would have led you to Ditton Junction and towards the docks. There we go, back on the line, and there you go, and you can just see that's where the line would have swung down to there, and the other line would have carried on. You can just see some of the old sleepers there, just left to rot really, and that's where we've just come down. But good find that, part of the old sheds, and that's the way we've come. And again, just left to rot. Just left to rot, and you can just see the bridge there on the other side. So we'll carry on this line, and hopefully this will take us to where we want to be really. And I'll tell you more about the Centennial Runcorn Gap when we get nearer. So hopefully the bridge that we've seen. All the kids you can hear in the background, that's the primary school just on the left, and it's nice to hear the sound of laughter from kids, isn't it? But hopefully this should take us, and yeah, I think it does, to that most world famous bridge. Luckily it's quite clear here. Done a bit of clearing. There we go. There we go. Ah, brilliant. This has been cleared since. Whew. There we go. Not get down there, but that's the 1830 line that takes you all the way into Manchester. That happened on that great day in 1830, and George Stephenson. And what you're seeing here is the remnants of that bridge. Sadly, it has been taken down, all the bridge virtually, apart from this end. And if you look across there, you can see why. Oh, here we go. Always nice to get one going through and diesel running through. Just in the distance. Very popular line, this 1830 line, going to Manchester and Liverpool the other way, so always nice to get a train whizzing through. Just adds to it really. But I'll flip the camera up in a minute and just show you from the high level. If you look up there, that's where the line ran to that took it to Clockface. Do you see where the new houses are? This is where the bridge would have run over. And we'll get a better shot down here, but sadly it's been knocked down, and why it got knocked down I don't know, because it was the first railway that ran over a railway. And they put a little footpath on this side as well. How come the line way that the track would have run, but no track left. There's no track left. We'll get a better picture and I'll tell you more of the history as we get down. Service bridge here, which was the inspection bridge, and they've left it as a walkway, which is nice. I can show you more when we get down. And if you look here, that is still part of the original ironwork from the bridge. They've just modified it on top. If you see the floor, you know, original floor, they've just added to it. If you look that way, the next stop there would be Lee Green, near where I live. Just further up there is Lee Green station, and then further on, about a mile further down, was the old Lee Green station. So it just gives you an idea how this line runs really. Well, it turned out to be a nice day. It started raining when I started this walk, but luckily it's held off. But nice to see the old iron bridge still here, and you can still get to it. So I'm going to keep it going. They've actually opened this up now, so that's good. Get a good shot here. There you go. Warning, do not trespass on the railway. I've not got £1,000 today, so I won't be walking on it right away. But you'd never walk on a live line anyway. But here it is. Now this bridge that you're looking at here now were the two lines. You would have had two lines coming this way. And then like a branch fork off line that went that way to Centennial Junction. That one carried on to Shaw Street Station. I'll get a shot up here actually. New housing estate now. But if you look there, that's where the bridge used to cross over here, and this would have took you to Clockface in that direction. To Clockface station, and then on to Widnes to Ditton Junction, which is now the Mersey Gateway. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. If you see the old inspection bridge, still there. The original bridge just been modified on the top. But you can just see the old ironwork, which is still there. But how sad for this bridge really that St Helens Council didn't leave it up, and and still done something with it. But unfortunately they didn't. And I say it many times about St Helens Council, we never look after our history. We never have, and it's a shame when it's gone, but at least we've still got that part of it left, But yeah, St Helens to Runcorn Gap, I'll tell you a little bit more about it as we're looking down the line really. Opened 1833, St Helens to Runcorn Gap, and this was the line that George Stephenson had laid to get to the 1830 warehouse on that great day, great procession coming down here, so he would have passed over here. So a lot of history, a lot of history. And this line, the St Helens to Runcorn Gap, was set up with the canals to get the coal from all the mines around here towards Widnes and towards Liverpool on the docks, because the canals were taking too long to do it, and there was a bit of a battle at the time between the canals and the railways because they didn't want each other stealing each other's business. So what they did with the St Helens to Runcorn Gap, they amalgamated the two companies, the canals and the railways, to create the St Helens to Runcorn Gap to get the coal to Liverpool on the docks. And later on they made it a passenger line as well. And in its heyday, I think it was 1838, this actually opened to passengers, and it was a very busy station from Widnes coming into St Helens. It got used a lot, and 1838, looking at the records on it, over 26,000 people used this line. So that's how busy it was. In its heyday. It really was. And following the end of the Second World War, the traffic on it declined really, and I think probably a lot of that is because more people started to use cars after the war as well. So it kind of declined in service, which is sad really. And 16th of June 1951, we actually closed to passengers, believe it or not, because it declined that much. And freight was heavy, but that declined in the 1960s. And here we go, we get an express train coming through, which is nice. Here it goes. Trans-Pennine Express. And these trains fly down here because they only stop at certain stations, and such a quick train. If you ever get on one, if you go into Liverpool, we've actually got to Chester on it, straight through to Chester. Unbelievable. Well, I'm going to keep this walking and show you where this leads to. It's such a lovely morning again to get out. But yeah, original bridge still there. Some better days if you look at it. The old ironwork still there. And then 1969, the line from Farnworth and Bold went to single track, and it closed to all traffic in 1981. All the line got lifted, and that's heading that way, which made the Mersey Gateway. And sad really, but served its day really. And if you remember the Sutton Oak little sheds that we found, Sutton Oak Sheds was opened in 1888, closed in 1967. That's when Dave Whelan bought the sheds and turned it into Whelan's Supermarket. Just get a shot down the line. Yeah, turned it into Whelan's Supermarket, and after Whelan's, Morrison's bought it. And Sutton Oak Station, 1864. it opened, it was built in 1852, closed to passengers in 1951. Yeah, that's the history of this line really. It was down as a Beecham's report on the 14th of June 1965 as well, for one of his cuts to certain parts of it, to Shaw Street and that. So it was going to be, it's had its ears marked anyway. Well, I'm going to carry on the walk now and just show you where this leads out to. But St Helens, going back in its heyday, had about 30 stations in the mid-50s. Unbelievable, for such a small town to have so many stations, and we found a lot of them, And like I say, this is a busy line. There we go. Another one going through. You could set your watch probably every half hour, 3/4 of an hour. Trains going to Manchester, trains going that way to Liverpool. So it's nice to see them coming down that line. And George Stephenson, I hold your hat off to you to what you've done with this line. Nobody said you could do it, and he proved everybody wrong, and especially getting over Catchmoss at Manchester Bogland. But I'm going to keep it walking now, and I'm going to take you and show you where this line leads to. Now I'm not going to cut through a few houses here at the moment, so I'll just pause off for a minute and I'll catch you when we get to the second part. And here we go, this is where it brings us out. If you look over there, see the new houses that backed onto the bridge. This is where it led to, and this is where it came over the bridge here. And I'll just get a better shot on it, as you can just see on that side. See where all the trees are? That's where the bridge went over, and that's what took it towards Clockface. So we'll carry on the trail. I'm going to keep this running. I know it's going to be a bit boring for a bit, and I'll show you where that leads to. You can't get to it any other way, but this will take you on to the blog I did, finding the two bridges before it headed towards Clockface. So I'll keep it running. Just gives you an idea where it is. Leads you to Michael's Cross, Rain Hill, St Helens. Now we're in St Helens, so leads you towards St Helens Town Centre. But not a long blog today, it's just wanted to get that railway that ran over a railway, because it's not going to be there forever. And there is talk that they're on about opening the other part of the line to Shaw, from Shaw Street to the junction again. There is talk about it, so that'll all be cleared one day, and this blog you'll be able to look back on what it was like. We're going to do a left here now, and I'll show you where this leads to, where I picked up on the walk last time, finding the two bridges that led to Clockface Station. Again, when you're finding old maps, you're trying to follow it, but there's so much new stuff now, like housing estates, that but a bit of a lonely walk that this morning from Sutton. Very lonely walk. Like I said, there's no other way you can get on this line from the road there, so this is why I've headed this way. Well, all the big bollards down here now, and that's footstop cars coming up here. You can hear the trees. It's always a sign of railway lines, trees and the breeze, lonely places. lonely places. Like I say, I'm not going to get up here because I've done this on my other blog if you want to see it. It's called Finding the Two Bridges That Lead to Clockface Station. But look at these, how rotten they are. They've gone, aren't they? Completely gone. And there's no barriers up there. When I did it last time, you can just walk it. You can just walk it. But we're not going up there this morning. Just wanted to show you. And that's where the line led from where we've come. The first railway to run over a railway. And that leads to Clockface Station. And I remember seeing these last time, so I'll show you. Oh. There you go. Some of the old wooden sidings that ran all along the top. I'll just go up and have a quick show you why we're here, because if you've not seen the other blog, you'll be interested to see it. But this is the bridge that we're just come under. It's not very safe, so I'm not going to go too close, but you can just see the big gap. And that's the way it came from the bridge over the road that we've just seen that's been cut off, and it led all the way down here. I'm not doing this walk, I've done it before on my other blogs. If you want to see it, heading towards Clockface, that's where it leads you, to Clockface Station on the St Helens to Runcorn Gap. But yeah, St Helens, 30 stations just in St Helens, they reckon, in the 50s. So sad to see it decline. We'll get back down here now. Lonely places there. Well, that's just another route that takes you up to Clockface as well. I've done all these routes. A lot on my mountain bike, to be honest, because you can fly through them. But yeah, that bridge has seen better days. So that's really the end of my blogs, really, for in St Helens, on the St Helens to Runcorn Gap. We've still got videos to come on the 1830 line, Eccles 1830 warehouse, and Edgehill cuttings, which is looking at the moment hard to get onto, but we will do it, we will get on it. But it's going to take a bit of time, that one, but we will get there. And from this walk this morning, you know me, when I'm out on a walk, I've always got time for breakfast somewhere. And this morning we're near dinner time actually, so I'm going to see an old friend of mine in the Wheatsheaf pub, a girl called Amanda who works there. Got Pally many years ago when we used to live off Mill Lane, so she'll be in there this morning, and I know she's working, and she did promise me an all day breakfast, so that's where I'm heading this morning now. And after that I've got to walk all the way back back home. I'm going to walk the way back, go over the bridge where the railway run over a railway, and then cut back home that way. But I'll just show you the Wheatsheaf pub. It's for all those who live in St Helens will know it, because for two things: it's the most haunted pub in St Helens, and we love a good ghost story on the railway walks, but it is true. And the second thing about it, all the floors are uneven on it, so you think you're drunk before you've even had a pint in the Wheatsheaf. But I'll give it a little bit of a plug as well, if you can get across this road. It's a very busy junction. Nobody knows if to turn left or right, so we'll go up here. I'll show you the Wheatsheaf pub. the end of the walk. There we go. This is the Wheatsheaf pub. Got a massive beer garden in the back, and Sunday lunch is fantastic in here. But like I said, it's one of the oldest, one of the most haunted pub in St Helens. Morning, mate. Hello, pal. There you go. That's the Wheatsheaf pub. And you have the public bar there, which is still there. And you go on that side. That's the lounge. And if you see the little door in the middle, I'll video it. You can just see it there. That's where they cook all the food as well. So absolutely brilliant. And that's where I'm going now. I see the little mini there. I know Amanda's in. And I'm going to get a breakfast. So see you soon on Mark's Railway Trails. Hope you like the bridge. A bit of history there. And pity St Helens Council knocked it down. But at least there's some bit left. So get a brew. Watch it. And I'll see you soon on the trail. And hopefully go and get my breakfast, because she'll be opening very shortly, but I'll just give her a knock on that door and I'll be in there. See you soon on Mark's Railway Trails.